Alright, so I want to talk about how dating apps have completely ruined dating for Gen Z. You know, they were designed to help people fall in love and find their person, but instead they've turned everyone into commitment-fearing zombies who can't even hold a conversation. Let me break it down. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I'm going to be grinding a lot on this channel, trying to get that play button and deliver the best content I can for you guys. So I think the first problem that dating apps bring to the table is that they've turned dating into a buffet. You know, you're not trying to find the one, you're just scrolling through endless profiles like it's a menu. Oh, like she's cute, but let's see what else is out there. And next thing you know, you swipe through 300 people and now you're too tired to actually talk to anyone. It sort of turned dating into like a mass Costco sampling experience where it's like you're walking into the grocery store and instead of actually purchasing groceries or having a list of things you're looking for, you're kind of just floating around going from sample to sample, deciding on what you might like. It's like a very weird way to go about your love life. And I know that a lot of people don't even use the apps for dating or for love, like they're just looking for a one-night fling, which is a separate conversation in itself, but it sucks because people who aren't looking for that are literally forced to use Tinder, which is mostly used for hookups and stuff because it's the biggest app. It has the most people on it. So you kind of got to pick your poison. You can either use some random app that nobody's heard of with the likelihood of the quality of the person being higher and not someone who's just DTF, with the downside being you get like one match every 3 weeks, or you can use Tinder, get a lot more matches, but a lot of them are just no interest in actual dating or seriousness. So you end up using Tinder because that's what everybody's on, and it's now the case that your dating perception is totally skewed and weird. Let's say you match with someone you think is pretty. Are you just gonna like only message that person now? Are you gonna stop? Why would you, right? Because there's thousands of new profiles you can swipe through for something better. And even if you go on a date with that person, why would you delete the app after the date, right? You're gonna keep Tinder on your phone until it's a lock. I think the reason for this extends past Tinder. I think that has to do with the fear of commitment that everybody has now because of either a very bad relationship they've had previously or they've been ghosted. There is some truth into not putting all your eggs in one basket. Like, you don't want to make a girl or a guy your everything when you don't know them that well, because if you're not on the same page, that can totally fuck with you. But I think things have swung so far in the other direction that a little bit more commitment throughout the dating world would go a long way, which kind of leads into the ghosting epidemic, which is like, ghosting is the official sport of Gen Z. You know, you match, you chat for 2 days, you're planning a date, and then boom, they vanish. No explanation, no goodbye, they're just gone. It's kind of crazy. I've heard so many people justify this kind of behavior in like weird ways. Like they're saying, well, you're not entitled to a response or a conversation or something, which is like, will you be handcuffed if you do not respond to somebody's message after responding to them for like, you know, a week and leading them on? No, but it's a dick move. It's just fucking rude. And it's like so normal. Like you tell someone, oh yeah, I ghosted him or I ghosted her. It's like, oh, okay. Like it's just like a, you know, nod and keep it moving sort of thing. I'm like kind of surprised at that. That's just like a shitty thing to do. Get someone's hopes and expectations up. And the crazy thing is too, like one time I had a friend who was matching with this girl and I thought she was pretty. I was like, hey, good job, man. And a week later, she ghosted him and I'm like, well, let me see the text, you know, let me go do a play-by-play analysis, see where you may have dropped the ball or fumbled. And I couldn't really find anything. I mean, he was playing by the book and I was just kind of confused. We were both scratching our heads in unison. So we just ended up concluding that she was hoeing around or something. I feel like it wouldn't be that bad if the industry standard was changed to where like, if you don't fuck with someone, you can just tell them, hey, like, you know, I'm not really vibing. Have a good one though. Wish you the best of luck. Like I've only been ghosted like a few times and it's never really affected me, but I've seen the effects it can have on people. And it's like, I know for a fact, literally just a one sentence being like, yeah, it's not for me would avoid so many crash outs. Now on that note, a lot of people look fucking stupid on dating apps. I'll say it. Like these bios, a lot of these prompts that people do, absolutely just foolishness. You're like, okay, why would I want to swipe right on you if I go to your bio and it says, I'm here to ruin your life? Goodbye. Like, okay, goodbye. I know that it's supposed to be charming and like quirky, but like if I wanted to ruin my life, you just crack open the VPN and go to stake.com. Like it ain't that hard. But ain't it crazy? Some people see that. They're like, oh, you're here to ruin my life? Challenge accepted. Let's see how bad it gets. And then they come to you like a month later in tears, head in hands, being like, bro, I just don't get it. I thought she was the one. Are you fucking serious right now, bro? Are you actually serious with me? You're telling me the girl with the bio that said, I'm here to ruin your life, it just didn't go well? I'm fucking shocked. Bro, it's even worse on Hinge. On Hinge, there's these prompts and everyone has to fill them out when they're doing a profile. One of the most common ones is, my irrational fear is blank, and all the girls, guess what they put? My irrational fear is men. If you're gonna be unoriginal, like at least be unoriginal in a way that it's like still kind of a green flag. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking, my favorite show is Breaking Bad. It's like, oh, okay, that's everyone's favorite show, but you passed, I guess. But then it's like, oh, my irrational fear is men. men. Oh, really? I didn't see that for the past 99 profiles of different girls who wrote that, so I'm so glad that the 100th one is the same exact thing. Another very common one is, the prompt is, I'm convinced that blank. And a lot of the girls who try to be quirky end up falling into the same exact thing where it's unoriginal. They write, Helen Keller wasn't real. I'm not even that funny of a person, but I think I'm smart enough to know that if I saw someone trying a joke around like 50 times and, you know, maybe 1 out of every 50 times it gets a chuckle, I probably wouldn't add that joke to the holster. And why does everybody have the same 3 hobbies? I like hiking, dogs, tacos. Oh my god. Wow, look at you. Oh, and let me guess, movies? Whoa! I'm not even trying to be cynical, but like these hobbies are these like actual NPCs. Do you think people are just like afraid to put their actual hobbies in like their bios and stuff because they don't want to be judged, so they're just like, they'd rather be an NPC? Because like when I'm on these apps, I'm like, oh yeah, I do YouTube videos, like that's my hobby. And if one more person puts I'm looking for my player 2 in their bio, I'm throwing my phone out the window. Now don't get me started about like the TikTok dating advice that's taken over by storm. Bro, dating advice now is the worst it's ever been. It's so bad on both sides. You know, the manosphere stuff is terrible. The TikTok, you know, girl boss stuff, terrible. Literally everything is so cooked. It's impossible to get good advice now because, you know, you ask your parents for advice. They were basically born of the Stone Ages compared to what we have now. The only way you'll possibly get good advice is from like your friend or something who you know absolutely can give the advice. I've seen these videos of girls who intentionally ghost their Tinder dates just to make a TikTok being like, this is what not to do when texting me, and it's like giving advice to the guy that they ghosted, which is like, well, you're gonna ghost him either way for the content, so like, what are we doing here? You're creating a fake market. You're causing the problems to sell the solution. It's like selling water in a desert, except you made the desert. And then on the other hand, you have people like Fresh and Fit who make content where they literally tell their young male audience to make their girlfriend or the girl that they want to like them afraid of them, because the only way you can have a relationship with a woman is that she respects you out of fear. Insane. Also, I feel like half the people on these apps aren't actually there to date. They're just there for like validation. You know, they want to match with someone, and instead of thinking like, they're like, oh, maybe I'll message them, they're like, nice, still got it, and then they log off for weeks, you know? It feels like now more than ever it's a game, you know? Nobody's trying to connect. They're all just like swiping, ghosting, and repeating. And honestly, I miss when you had to like awkwardly ask someone out in person. At least then you know where you stood. So yeah, dating apps were supposed to make things easier, but instead they've turned us into indecisive, validation-seeking chaos gremlins. If you've managed to find love on these apps, congrats. The rest of us, we're just gonna be swiping until our thumbs give out, and yeah. I'm not even talking about hypergamy in this video because that's just like so self-evident. Like, if you're not above average looking as a guy on these apps, you are actually cooked, which is crazy. There's some stat where it's like 95% of likes go to the top like 5% of males, you know, attractiveness, which is nuts. But yeah, I think that's all I gotta say for this video. If you guys want a part 2, let me know down in the comments below, and I appreciate you guys watching. See you guys all in the next one. Peace.